welcome to Conversations here on NTA Network. My name is Nike, and Conversations, as you know, is about issues that affect you and me. The house is full today. I'll leave everyone to introduce themselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Bello Ismail. I'm with the Department of International Relations and Diplomacy, based university here in Abuja.
Okay.
I'm Antonia Mukeji, Mrs. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm also a Christian marriage and family counselor.
Should I introduce myself?
Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm Z, once again, talk show host, entrepreneur, and they say I'm the loudmouth of the room.
Hello, everyone. My name is Suleiman Baboja Usman. I am a TV content producer.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, since we're talking, we're all in one line of business or another. Our topic today is work ethics. What to do at work and what not to do. And I guess we can also share some of our own personal experiences. I'm sure Z is looking like, oh, I can tell you a lot about work ethics right now. But we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this here on Conversations.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take its pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day, I got tired of all that and I
I don't think in gender boxes at all. I just get on with it.
A man that would dare to ask the wife, who do you think you are? That is a real man.
In fact, our husbands are our firstborns. The husband needs more attention than even the children.
It's not only about work, it's not only about family. They need to take the time to look after themselves, and we don't. We don't do that.
They took my money. I paid every fees. I never asked to be hoisted as a governor. I wanted to be allowed to go out there and contest for the position of governorship candidate first.
There's nothing greater than looking back and seeing that while you were aspiring, you were able to inspire others.
Power to women. Yes, we need to have more women, more multitaskers around Nigeria to get Nigeria working.
Definitely.
Conversations here on NTA Network. Our topic today is work ethics. Personally, I think one of the biggest rules that is broken when it comes to, you know, I need to focus at work, but I'm not, is the use of phones. I can be bad sometimes, you know, but I have to sometimes take a minute, switch off the phone or completely mute it, put it in my bag, and then focus on work. I don't know if you have experiences or you're that bad when it comes to handling your phone. Z?
No. I think because, once again, I didn't grow up here. My first job wasn't here. Second job wasn't here. In the U.S., you dare not use your phone.
Oh, okay.
During work. You either get up and you go to the bathroom and you answer a phone call, or you wait for your lunch break. You can't be at your desk, clicking away and then having conversation about stew and meat and what type of swallow to make for your husband. No, your boss will tell you that's not what he paid you for. You get a strike. By the time you get your second strike, you're looking at unemployment line. You will buckle up. So
a strike for a phone call?
Yes, for a phone call. You can't answer your phone while at work. It's not possible. It's #1 ethic rule. You can't. They're not paying you to have your personal time. If you want your personal time, have your own business. Be the boss of your business. And even at that, you need to set example for your staff. You can't be handling a client and then you're like, oh, hold on, wait, I need to call my hairdresser and book an appointment. Or you're calling your accounts officer or you're calling your nanny. Nobody really wants to do business with you like that. I'm very particular. The minute I see you answering your phone and I'm trying to do business with you, I'll tell you, oh, I just got a phone call, please, I'll be back. And that's it. That's it. You don't deserve my business if you don't have time to dedicate to me. I'm trying to bring you business. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. And the best you could do is pick up phone calls and be trying to have a full-blown conversation with somebody, and I'm sitting there. No, I have time. I have things to do with my time. So that's the first thing you could do to turn me off.
Yeah.
Answer your phone, or when you're driving, like my driver. Oh, madam, I want to answer my call. My wife is calling me. What didn't take concern me, concern your wife? Okay? When I drop out of this car, you can call your wife. But once I'm in this car and you're earning salary, tell your wife, does she want to eat today? Does she want to buy that wrapper at the end of the month? If not, then she should keep calling. It's that simple.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're looking at work ethics, which, to my understanding, could be the set of rules and regulations, if you like, modus operandi that guides a particular, work environment. And then you talk about, answering phone calls while attending to a customer. But I don't mean to be mean, but I see it's more like ladies do that more.
No. Everybody.
I tend to agree with him. I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, because a lot of times, okay.
I don't even deal with women that much.
It's not an attack. Don't get me wrong.
No, I get
but a lot of times I've experienced this, but it's mostly ladies, and I'm beginning to wonder why, if it's just the ladies that tend to have this attitude.
I don't think it's just ladies. I think it's a general thing. I don't deal with, most of the people I work with are men.
Okay.
And I have that issue.
Well, Tonya is an entrepreneur, so I'm sure you have a lot of people that work with you. How do you manage, your staff and handling things like phone calls?
I think what she said is true. It's actually very wrong for workers, to be attending to people and at the same time taking a call.
Okay.
Or you're attending to someone and then your phone rings. I actually always have to shout at my workers because of that. Because for me, it's wrong. You're like telling that person, you're not that important. What I want to do now is more important than you coming in here. Okay. So it's wrong. But then I think there has to be the rules. So thank God we're talking about ethics. Yeah. Because there must be this standard. You should know that this is a no-no and this is something, yes, you can do. And like you said before, maybe taking a break to take calls. Even now, I'm thinking I should start putting all those kind of things into consideration in my business. Because I remember when some people came, I didn't have to put the regulations, don't do this, what point to do this, what point to do that. So when they came last year, they told me, we want to see rules and regulation of how you are running this bakery. Okay. And I'm like, wow. So I sat down and I started thinking, and truly it's very important. Very important. So if we can tell our workers, this is how it should be, this is when to do this and when not to do it, it will go a long way. Because from my own experience, I think many of the workers lack proper education. Yeah. They lack,
proper exposure.
Proper exposure, skills. Some of them don't even know when to take this phone and when not to take the phone. And even when you say stop, it's like, this woman is mean.
Yeah,
Why when you don't know any better, you can't do any better.
Exactly.
You can't expect somebody that has never been trained to do the right thing, to wake up one morning and say, oh, this is the right thing. Yeah. You can't expect that from them. So you have, I don't, people will say, this one is always referring to America, but that's where I grew up. In America, when you get a job, you have 2 weeks of training. You sit down, they'll give you the rule books, you read it, you go through a test, you go through training, they'll attach you to somebody, you see what that person does for like 3 days, they attach you to another person. So you learn what is supposed to be done and what is not supposed to be done. And then you're on probation for a certain amount of time. If you break any law, it could be sneezing at the wrong time.
Wow.
You break a law, you're gone because you're not a full staff. You're still on probation. You break the law, you're gone. So you're on your P's and Q's because you know to find another job is not water under the bridge.
It's not.
You have bills to pay.
I know, Dr. Baylor, you work with a lot of students. Is it easy to get students to abide to some of these rules? I mean, they're going to be the workers of tomorrow, they're students today, but is it easy to get them to put their phones away, pay attention in class, come on time for lectures, things like that?
Basically, as a lecturer, my first responsibility is to be a good example to the students. What I do before going to the class, I make sure my phones are on silent, and I encourage my students to do that. If you flout my order, you're either told to step out of the class instead of playing with the phone, because your mind won't be at the place, because as a lecturer, I'm trying to impact knowledge on you. When you are there pressing your phone and playing with your phone, surely your mind is divided. So the issue of phone is a very important issue when it comes to workplace ethics. Lecturers must serve as good examples to the student. The students must also follow the laid down rules when they are in the classes.
I know, of course, you're coming from an academic environment, and I know that after admissions are given, they come for registration. There's usually like 2 weeks for orientation. You know, I believe this, you know, find a way to ease them into the system, to make them understand the do's and don'ts in a particular environment, which in your case is the school environment. But if that can also be done in the workplace environment, that will go a long way in preparing, you know, the employees to abide by the rules and regulations set by the company or organization.
I get you, but we do that, for instance, in civil service. You know, there's orientation, you get used to the environment, you're trained, but after a while, 3, 4, 5 years,
you get relaxed.
You get very relaxed.
In civil, that happens in civil service?
Well,
further education.
Ideally, you're supposed to be trained again, but you know how it is. Some agencies aren't able to do that, and then some people even do it on their own. Okay, I'll just go and get some training on my own, but maybe not in, you know, things like this, work ethics and all. But people, I feel that after a while, you've been at the job for so long, we just kind of become lazy,
complacent.
Yeah, you know. The salary has been the same for the last couple of years. I've got more issues than I ever imagined, and so, you know,
but is that the job's fault? No.
No, it's not.
It's not their fault. If you feel the salary has not been increased and you have more responsibilities, get up and look for another job, but still follow the rules and regulations of your place of work. The rules and regulations don't change. No. They stay the same. They probably get better, but they don't really change. Yeah. If you feel your salary does not look like the job you're doing, as you have break, you go and check online for who's hiring, you have your weekends, you have your evenings, you have your, some places give you 2 weeks vacation for the year, some people give you a month. You take that and you look for another job that will pay you what you want to be paid. But pay is not a reason for you to break the rules and regulations of your job. You don't like the job anymore, go.
I believe the issue of flouting rules and regulations in the workplace is more particular with the public sector. Because, as mentioned earlier, in the banking hall, you hardly see bankers with the phones, maybe...
or eating.
Or eating in the banking hall and what have you. So I think the public institution need to lay down or be more strict with the rules and regulations pertaining and job. Maybe, for example, when you caught using your phone, as you said, you are struck once and twice. The third time, you get a debit from your salary, maybe a cut, 5% or whatever percent, in order to serve as a detriment for you in the near future. So public sector institutions need to place more emphasis on laying down rules and regulations and making sure these rules and regulations are followed to the letter.
Exactly.
And I know, given our economic reality in the country, and I'm not sure anybody will be comfortable to have their salary chopped off. And then, of course, we are also talking about public service. And you know how people, you know, come to work very late. I find that very disturbing because in America it's called time theft, right? And then I know we really don't have statistics
you have 2 minutes.
in Nigeria, okay?
Legitimately 2 minutes. If
report late?
Your job says you are to be there at 8 a.m., if you arrive at 8:03, that's a strike. But hey, you can't say you're coming at 8:20 or 8:30. You should have called your supervisor way ahead and said, oh, this is the situation going on. I'm going to be so and so amount of time late. You can't just say, oh, this is Nigeria, I beg, we get there when we get there. Yeah?
And you know, in America, according to the statistics like conducted there, because in Nigeria, this is one gray area that we need to sort out. There, that they lose about $177 billion annually as a result of time theft. You come to work, you're not doing what you're supposed to do at work. You're probably surfing the net. Instead of you to concentrate on your work, you're coming to work late. You're leaving early. You understand? This all constitute time theft. Now, imagine that in Nigeria.
Or you clock in, you leave the workplace, and then when it's about time to close, you come back and you clock out. We've done that.
But you know what? I'm just thinking, you know, as a mom, school runs actually does take a bit of a chunk. I'm just saying it as it is. School runs.
You have the same 24 hours as everybody else. You're not the only mom. You're not the only dad. Everybody has their own personal problems. You sort it out within your own 24 hours. It's not the job's problem.
Yeah.
That's true.
But if you say school runs and I'm entitled to an hour as break,
yeah.
Going to town and coming back, I mean, you know that it's going to take you at least 2 hours to pick your kids, drop them at home, and then come back to the office. So, yes, I know it's time theft as well, but it's something that, I mean, when you say, oh, I'm going for school runs, you can't say, Madam, sit down and finish the letter I asked you to. Because
honestly,
to pick up your child.
When it comes to parenting, I think I have a totally
are with that sometimes.
different opinion about
figure
that.
it out.
Because you have to take care of the kids as well.
Yes.
Even though some people are saying, why don't you employ other hands to help you? But do you have the funds to do that? So, in as much as we need to be strict, you know, obeying the work ethics and all, I think one way or the other it should be relaxed in a way to accommodate issues like this because, of course, they have to go to school. You need to pick them up, and if you don't have money to hire, you know, extra hands, you have to do it yourself. So, what time do you have to do that?
So, Suleiman, let me ask you a question. Is it fair to those that don't have kids?
I am not saying that it's fair.
If you relax the rules for those that have kids, what about those that don't have kids?
Yeah. But what needs to be done in that regard?
It is an even rule for everybody. You have kids, you don't have kids, you follow the rules.
That's it. Do the right thing.
If you feel it takes you 2 hours to go and pick up your kids, you have a sister, you have a brother, auntie, cousin, neighbor, friend, somebody that, you know, your kids have friends that go to the same school, that live in the same neighborhood.
It can be difficult sometimes.
I'm not saying that
it can be difficult sometimes.
You ask for a favor or you make arrangements, but it's not fair for you to say, oh, I have kids. Then the girl that doesn't have kids has to follow by the rules and regulations.
It's just like it's a similar scenario whereby you have a nursing mother. I believe that you know, according to civil service rule, at some time, because you're nursing, you're not supposed to close the same time other, you know, workers are doing that. So
that is a rule that has been put in place.
That's what I'm saying. If, you know, possibilities can exist to accommodate issues like this. I'm not saying that we must implement it anyway, but I'm just saying it can be very difficult sometimes. And then, God save you, if you have understanding, you know, bosses, they can actually reason with you sometimes.
You see, and that's the challenge. Sometimes this understanding boss that you're talking about, there are some staff members that will
abuse it.
Thank you. They'll come up with excuses every now and then. Sorry to say, we women, you know, my child is stooling, my child's sick,
my child is teething, my child is this. That child always.
You're saying this, and you got me thinking.
It happens even to me, but you know, that understanding boss, you're just wondering at which point is the boss going to be like, no more, you know, because there's some women and men that keep doing this over and over and over again. It still falls under work ethics and abusing.
It's quite funny because I just remember what the story the producer was sharing with us just before we started this, that there's a particular lady who will actually inform her boss that she's going to be sick. You understand?
Yeah, because it was that time of the month.
So exactly.
She knows she's going to be sick, and then she now tells them, I won't be around on Monday because I will be sick on Monday. What do you think about that?
There are people that time of the month brings problems. She takes it out of her vacation time. It's that simple. you take it out of your vacation time. It's not. It's not.
I don't
hard
understand
work.
vacation.
Your leave, your annual leave.
Your annual leave, you take all that. But it's a monthly thing. Does that mean you're going to be going on leave every month?
And 1 day every month. You have 30 days. There's only 12 months in the... You still have time for your vacation.
People are watching Z all over Nigeria wondering.
See, in the US, you have your sick days. You have 7 days sick days.
Okay.
They pay you for those days.
Okay.
Then you have, depending on where you work, you either have 2 weeks paid vacation or 1 month paid vacation. Okay. You can take it how you want to take it. If you've used up your 7 days paid leave, you enter inside your vacation. If your vacation is finished, you have 3 days bereavement because everybody seems to lose somebody at some point in life. You have 3 days bereavement. If you have used up your... Auntie, don't be sick. Just come to work. We'll accommodate you from here. No be ambulance, they go call them. It's just... They give you so much room that you don't abuse the system.
Yes. Is that what they mean when they say they call in sick? They take out of that 7 days? Okay, I've always wondered what that meant. Call in sick. I'm like,
call in sick?
What does that mean?
Even when you're not sick, you call in sick. See, I rarely get sick. It takes... I think I've probably been sick once my whole life. Besides the normal cough, I don't get sick. Okay. So I look at this situation. I have 7 days, 6 days. And then I've never really lost anybody to use my bereavement days either. So when I calculate the calculations, I'm like, wait, today I'm sick. I'm too lazy to get out of bed. I call my boss. Hi, Tom. I'm not feeling well today. I won't be coming into work. I've used one of my sick days to sit down in my bed and sleep.
Okay.
I wait another 2 weeks. I call. Hey, oh, my period has come. Oh, guy, I know if you call. I've used another. They give you 7 days.
Okay.
Don't abuse the system now.
And I think it's to do with this abuse of the system that it's making it difficult for some bosses to actually reason with some people, even when the issue is genuine. You understand? Because in some cases whereby, okay, fine, it's a simple call. I'm sick. Come and report to the hospital. Let's have a sick
medical report.
Medical report.
Yes,
Let's have a medical report to show that you're actually sick. And then sometimes your bosses can be very mean to say that, okay, fine, I don't care if you like, drag yourself down to office, but you must come to work. You understand? But in those instances, I think it's just not fair. But sometimes you don't blame them because other people have taken advantage
of the situation.
Yeah.
I think that it's important for us to be considerate in everything we do. We human beings are not. We're not sensitive at all to others. Why I'm saying this is because if you look at this job, you put yourself as this is mine. If it's yours, you want to take care of it. You want it to be, the way you want it to be, as in good. Well, because it's not yours. So it's like, well, I just do it the way I can and all that. I remember some years back when I started, my workers would be like, today, I get somewhere to go, madam. Another time, something else, and I'm like, wow. So you know what? Thank God for giving me the idea. I should get an exercise book. Then I told them, henceforth, if you must go out, if you must not come to work, I want it written in the book. Just make your statement in that book for me. So, and I said to myself, by the time I start reading your bullshit every now and then, nobody needs to tell you that, what excuse am I going to write the next time? So I started using the exercise book, and then it started going down. They started reducing that nonsense. So I was like, we do this to ourselves. We don't like to feel for the other person. We're just like, me, me, me. Think about the other person. You're here to collect money. Basically, that's what it means to you. Because you don't want to work. If you want to work, you know what it means. You work to get money. But you want money, but you don't want to work.
Do you think people get more out of staff that are working on commission than staff that are on salary? do you think it's better to pay someone that really has to work, has to bring in a job and get a cut out of it, and that will be the person's salary, rather than paying someone every month, whether or not the person
It works
meets
better
it?
that way. When you know you have a salary, whether you work or not, you won't put effort into it. But when you know you have to work to get that money, and the more you work, the more money you bring into the company, the more money you get to take home. What's that, son? Double your hustle. You go double your hustle.
Multiple streams of income.
You go double your hustle.
That's true.
Commission-based jobs can be quite...
Most jobs in the US
better.
come with commission.
Yeah.
You get a base salary, like let's say minimum wage. Before I left, I think McDonald's was $5.18 an hour. They don't get commission, but they have a tip jar. So you're nice to a customer, they put money in the tip jar. At the end of the day, you guys open this tip jar and you share it. If you're not nice to the customer, you stick to your $5.18 per hour, and your rent is $2,000 a month. How is that? And there's a law. You work 40 hours a week, 80 hours every 2 weeks. Most jobs will not pay you overtime, so you're stuck in that 40 hours. And if you're a part-time, you work 20 hours or 18 hours. How is that your $5.18 going to pay for your rent, pay for your light bill, pay for your water bill, pay for your health insurance, pay for your car insurance, pay for your children's daycare, pay for your clothing, pay for your... all on $5, and Uncle Sam will still remove 30% tax.
It's 30%?
Oh, and if you're earning commission, they're taking 33%.
But see, I think it's more to do with orientation, attitude, discipline, one's discipline, and also ensuring the implementation of the set down rules in an organization, because rules are there almost everywhere you go in our societies, whether within Nigerian society or in abroad. Wherever you go, there are rules, but it is the implementation that is our major concern here in this part of the world, because a lot of times, okay, fine, maybe it's not my boss, call him, and the matter is resolved. But Dr. Bello, in an academic environment, do you, experience such with your students?
Basically, as a lecturer, you have your schedule of work cut out for you. You have to lecture maybe on a weekly basis, twice or thrice. So it's unlike public sector, that is the civil service. It's very difficult for you to see a lecturer stay out of the school, maybe for the sickness and whatever. You just have to try as much as possible to come to the school to lecture the student. You can't say because
lecturers.
I'm from the private sector. As I said earlier on, there are lapses in our rules and regulations, and there is need for individuals to have attitudinal change. Don't say because this is a government job, it's our money. As you see, in Nigeria, it's our money. Either I go to work or I don't go to work, I get paid. But as a lecturer, you're not just going there for the salary. It has to do with passion at times.
Exactly.
So you are going there to impact knowledge on the young stars. They go out there, implement what you've taught them. So at times, they don't just follow what you teach them. They look at your countenance, your attitude, and what have you. So this goes a long way in impacting knowledge and what have you on the students.
Yeah. You know what blows my mind is when people are begging and praying so hard to get this job. And then you finally get it, and then in a year, you don't treat the job.
You're taking it so far. 6 months. You're taking us a year? Hey, give them 3 months.
3 months is even fun.
All boils down to attitude, seriously.
Yeah.
The need for attitudinal change on the part of Nigerians and whatever.
Yeah, that's true, because I try to say this based on, my workers and those that I already, know. I just employed someone. I told her, look, I'm taking you because you're a married woman, you have children. That is why. For this job, I actually need a younger person who will be more energetic and all that. And then just a few days, when I'm out, I found that she just goes to the reception and just, goes to the couch to, chill. Unfortunately, I came in and then I was like, what are you doing here? You're not at your post, you are here. And she just came to and you just sit down. And I'm
Nah,
like,
feet are tired.
and I'm
He
like,
just wants to chill.
do not sit down here again. You know, so when I look at this whole thing, I'm like, is it because the business is, you know, when it's a small time business and all that? I think we, people like me, we suffer more compared to those who are a bit bigger, you know, like, what's it called now? Bembro's business, what do you call?
Okay, basically people with bigger
business. So
companies,
you can actually structure them better.
Okay.
Structure them better, because when you go there for pizza, you don't see these workers with phones. They're always standing, attending, smiling and all that. And then when it's smaller, you find out that they are too emotional. As in, you're doing your business with emotion. Your worker comes
Because you
in.
have that access to
you know,
direct
exactly.
boss.
They're always coming to you like, you know, ma, this,
They play
that.
with your emotions.
You know, so it's wrong.
So
it kills business.
Are you saying that the boss, or rather the employer, should maintain some level of distance with the employees?
Yes, there should be. But you find out that most times there's nothing much you can do, because they have to come to you every now and then for this and that, for direction, for this. Okay, the recipe is this, and then you tell someone, go do this thing at this
That's
hour.
why there's a
and then it comes
manager,
back.
assistant manager, supervisor.
Exactly.
There's steps to these things.
Thank you.
The baker, or is it baker? Abi chef, Abi what is it?
Yeah, baker.
Yeah. The baker does not come to the direct boss. The baker will go to his supervisor.
Exactly.
The supervisor will go to the assistant manager. Assistant manager will go to manager. Manager will now go to whoever he reports to.
That's
it's a
it.
chain of command.
Yes, so
You
it's
can't
better
just-
for the bigger ones, but for the small business people, oh God, it's horrible. They play with your emotions, and so they run the business down, because you're actually like a family thing. It becomes like a family thing.
Yeah. Like
Some will
something
even come and start
happens-
calling you mommy. You know that kind of thing? Oh, auntie, when it should be ma. So when it gets to that point, you're now beginning to consider a whole lot of things. Do I, you know, oh, she'll think I'm wicked.
Yes.
But I'm trying to do the right thing.
Yes.
But you have to be wicked. Because when your business shuts down, they will move forward, and you're the one in a loss.
And their salary is very, very important to them.
Yes, it is.
Very, very
It is.
important to them.
Whatever
Whether the
happens,
business is moving, it's not moving.
you're not affected,
You're on
right?
your
Either
own.
profit or loss.
You're on your own.
And
Pay.
talking about abuse of privilege, I share with you a recent experience we had in our workplace environment. Our boss, of course, you're talking about hierarchy. Of course, you have to go through different levels before you get to the boss.
Yeah.
But our boss, so kind, so he decided to have meeting with us every Monday. So it appears that some people decided to take that with a laissez-faire attitude, in the sense that they don't turn up when they're supposed to. And they threatened that, because one day it was really bad. You can basically count, where's this person? Like, you can count about 5, 6, 7 people that were missing. And then he said, okay, I know what to do. I don't want to see any of you again. And then immediately he said that. Then we started panicking, because we understand how important that is for us. You're interacting with your boss directly, not to somebody, a third party or something. So, and then immediately he said that, of course, he was trying to, exert some level of action, level of discipline. And then we started begging. The next meeting, God, we had to start, calling ourselves guy, or God don't vex.
Well, would you have any advice to women watching the program and are struggling to adhere to the work ethics, and balancing their own life, the work-life balance? I don't know if you have any advice for people that I really want to put in my best, but I just have so much going on, and I need this job.
Like what?
Raising a family.
Everything.
And,
like I said, work-life balance, making my husband's food, making sure the kids get to school on time,
And
getting
the
to my...
husband should have what excuse? He has to get out and find money to feed you, because if he does not give you that money to cook, you will complain. If he does not give you money to go and do your hair and nails, you will complain. If he stops giving you money to go on vacation with the children, you will complain. So everybody, the husband and the wife, everybody has problems. So if everybody has nobody will come to work again. There's no excuse because we are women. I don't like when people, okay. And then you say, what men can do, we can do better. And then you're now trying to find extra space. Auntie, calm down.
But seriously, Nike, trust me, I know it can be very difficult to be a woman sometimes because of this numerous responsibilities.
Yes.
You've said you have to take care of the family, the kids, you know, cooking at the same time. Sometimes you have to, you know, warm water for your husband, you know, prepare breakfast before he leaves the home. So the onus lies on the man as well to support the wife.
Yeah, boil your
the
own water
woman.
sometimes.
You understand? There's some things you can do on your own, really. And then maybe
prepare breakfast for the kids, take the kids to school, and what have you.
How many men do school runs in your own environment or in yours? How many men get up to go?
I know a lot.
You must be willing to support your wife.
Funny, I'm telling you, like...
You're talking about over there?
No, I'm talking about... Like, I have a friend, one of my friends in Lagos.
Okay.
We're really cool, really, like, he's a really cool guy, married with kids. Not, like, he's my cool homie. And when I call him, he's like, Z, let me call you back. I have to pick up the kids from school. In the morning, he takes the kids to school. He said, it's the least I can do for my wife.
Oh.
He said she has a job, too. She has so many responsibilities. She has to go to the market. She has to come back, make this food. He said, that's the least I can do. I have to leave the house anyways to go to work. The children's school is on my way to work anyways. So I'll drop the kids off. I will pick them up after school. I close at 5. They finish school at 5. I'll pick them up, come home. I know a few guys that do this. Well, more than a few, but sure.
I think Suleiman belongs to that.
That percentage of men that do that.
Yeah, because sometimes you're like, see, babe, I really don't know how to cook. I wish I can cook this for you. The only thing I know how to cook, it's not what you would love to eat all the time, okay?
Is water?
It's, no, noodles.
Noodles. I was going to say noodles. Everyone can cook noodles.
You understand? But if we make that deliberate effort to, you know, support our women, it can go a long way to make them more efficient even at their workplace, and then they can give in their best. And then at the end of the day, we can live up to that bidding to say what a woman can do, what a man can do, a woman can do
better.
Even better.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. See if she wants to ask something. No, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I
I don't think in gender boxes at all. I just get on with it.
A man that would dare to ask the wife, who do you think you are? That is a real man.
In fact, our husbands are our firstborns. The husband needs more attention than even the children.
It's not only about work, it's not only about family. They need to take the time to look after themselves, and we don't. We don't do that.
They took my money. I paid every fees. I never asked to be hoisted as a governor. I wanted to be allowed to go out there and contest for the position of governorship candidate first.
There's nothing greater than looking back and seeing that while you were aspiring, you were able to inspire others.
Empower to women. Yes. We need to have more women, more multitaskers around Nigeria to get Nigeria working.
Definitely.
You were talking about how to support the women who are working, you know, how... for me, like, started back there in Lagos. So I used to work from home, you know, because my husband is into construction, so he goes out early and all that. So for me, I started from the house because I felt if I work, I won't be able to give it time, and I won't be able to give my kids and my husband time. So I worked from the house. And then the first 3 kids that I had in Lagos, at a point, I now felt, okay, I can work. So when we moved to Abuja, then I, got a business. I got a shop to do my business because at this point I feel, yes, I can now do my thing, my own time, So even if I want to take up an office job, I got into that point where I can control it and I can do it. So I feel we need to, first of all, be sincere to ourselves. Tell yourself, if it's mine, this is how I want to do it. And if it's somebody else's, then you also need to put yourself in that person's shoes. You don't treat it because it's not yours, so just do it anyhow. Because someone else is also going to do yours anyhow. So do it properly and think about your family.
Always say, after all, it's not my father's job.
You know,
it's not my father's house.
It's wrong. If you have passion for what you're doing, you will want to do it properly. So I think it's important for us to always consider that first. Like I remember just before we came to Abuja, someone called me to come take a job, NGO kind of job. And then I started thinking about it, and then I was like, time, and then before you know, I'm going to have problem with this woman. So it's better I just leave it.
Okay.
So I did not. I just kept doing my job from home.
From home.
Even now I have a very little baby who's about 4 years. Others are much, older than he is. But it's still, for me, it's best. Now I have my time. Can do, do whatever I want.
Do you have a caretaker, caregiver, nanny?
No, since we came to Abuja, no.
Wow.
I decided not to.
Wow.
I just told myself I would take care of this baby.
I will emphasize,
all to
wow.
myself.
Well, I like the fact that you were able to say no to that job opportunity, because a lot of times, most Nigerians, we don't really know how to say no.
The need for money, I don't want to say greed, the need for finances will not allow you to say no. No. When Uncle Landlord doesn't want to hear, I don't have the money, sir. When NEPA is there to cut the bills, cut that light, they don't want to hear, okay, sorry, I don't get job. So you're like, let me take this and make do with what I have till I can find what I want. You understand?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, working is hard.
You've got to.
I believe
you have to work.
Individuals must be willing to make sacrifice. Understand? When you have a family, you have kids to take to school, you either delegate that responsibility to someone or get an acquaintance around the environment that you can trust. Because of the challenges that are inherent in the society now, you have to make sacrifice. You can't say you want to be able to take your kids to school, to prepare a meal for your husband, and it's going to affect what you have been paid to do. So we must be willing to take sacrifice as
I'll have
make
to admit,
sacrifice
the school runs thing was it was affecting my work.
Okay.
And my boss was telling me, this is affecting your work. It really was. And so I had to reluctantly get someone to do the driving, drop me off, stay on standby, pick up the kids. But the maternal, I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to do it myself, but I honestly had to step it down and have someone trusted pick up the children, take them home, feed them, and all that. Because I wanted to be the one to pick them up. I wanted to be the one to drop them off. I want to make sure they're okay. Nobody's bruised.
Sacrifice comes in here,
Sacrifice at some point. It's either you stop the job or you delegate. Which delegating seems to be a much easier option.
Yeah.
So
it comes with its own
I feel everybody,
it does. It does.
When you've decided to take a responsibility at the workplace, you dedicate your all. You do to others how you want others to do to you. If it's your business, if it's somebody else's business today, it is your business tomorrow. You break somebody, it's karma. You break somebody's business, somebody will surely do 10 times worse to yours. You might have made your boss lose probably 2,000 naira. Your employee will make you lose 10,000 naira. Who will he pay more? The person that lose 2 or the person that lose 10? So you have to always keep that in mind. You can't just, it's not about me, 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 me. It's about everybody in the workplace. Yeah. Be an example. You don't have to be somebody's boss. It could just be your coworker. Be that example. Rub off on that bad coworker. That when he wants to do something bad, he'll be like, but so and so, hi, this person is watching me. Let me just, it's from being shame of doing the bad thing. You'll start doing good by force. You will not realize when it becomes a pattern. It has become part of you from being ashamed of doing something bad. So we just have to just talk to our inner selves, get our conscience together, and remember that this job today that you're doing, you will not do it for the rest of your life. You'll become your own boss at some point by the grace of God. You help somebody else. You know, you'll be a blessing to somebody else because somebody else was a blessing to you. You understand? Those are just the tiny things we need to remember when we're in a workplace.
So something that you said that just reminded me, like the bad coworker, as you put it. You know, there are some people in an office environment that are never on their seat, and then there's this coworker that keeps covering for them. Where's Nike? She's not on seat.
Just stepped out.
Nike is not on seat. Meanwhile, Nike is, you know, at the airport on her way to Lagos. You know, that kind of thing.
Again, you know, sometimes maybe the lazy ones have a way of making the serious one less feel better about themselves. Because they will, this one's a bit safe. Wait till they worry you, relax now. You always come on time. Can't you just one day just come late? At least let's know that, you know, it has a way of, you know, affecting your mentality.
How is your life?
How are you doing?
Okay, let's paint a scenario. I know work ethics is beyond just coming to work early, doing your due diligence to deliver on your job, but it's also about protecting the interests of your organization. And then I know in the era where whistleblowing is trending, can you do that against your own organization? Will that contravene the work ethics?
No.
It wouldn't contravene?
Blowing the whistle on your job for doing something wrong?
No.
On
your employer now. Your employer, your company, your organization. You understand? It's about protecting the interests of your, and that you're not protecting the interests of your organization. You're doing something else. How does that work?
I don't understand. Okay, let's say now, a government job.
Yeah, you're doing, let's paint a ministry now, okay? For example, you're supposed to protect the interests of your ministry.
Of the ministry.
Right? Wherever you are, my ministry is this, you're supposed to be the image of your ministry. And then maybe your ministry is doing something that is not supposed to be. Now, can you be a whistleblower, knowing fully that at the end of the day it will affect?
It is the right thing to do. But you know you're out of the job, right? In one way or another. No, I'm just saying that...
No, but the whistleblower is protected. Nobody will know it's you.
No, not in all instances. I have a colleague at work. There was a case of corruption. He blew the whistle and he's out of the work now. You know, but what I want individuals should know that...
One door closes, 10 open.
Yes. The interest of the state supersede all other interests.
Yes.
The betterment of Nigeria, how your country will be better, should be uppermost.
Of course.
You shouldn't say, I don't want the reputation of my DG, the reputation of my minister should be tarnished.
Should be tarnished, okay.
What about the reputation of Nigeria? We go out
the
there...
reputation of that ministry.
Okay.
So very one person.
I know... So I'm about to blow the whistle, but I also know I'm out of a job. That's just you have to know that that's going to happen, because yes, I know you say the whistleblower is protected and everything, but things leak every day out of someone somewhere somehow is going to mention your name and say she's the one that brought out.
Do you know that you can anonymously file a report? You don't have to put your name. If you keep sending the mail, there's no which name is your name anonymous?
No.
Is there anonymous in the work? Is there anybody that they pay salary call anonymous?
Well, sometimes that might be difficult because
eventually they will look into it, because if they keep seeing
have ears.
No, the walls. If you choose to tell the wall, if you are writing your letter and you're saying it to the wall, when the spirit is passing by, he will hear you. But if you're talking to yourself and you're writing your letter, you put it in envelope.
But does that
Drop
really
it off
work? The
at
email
the media
whistleblower,
house.
the email whistleblower, you know, because for some people they get compensated being a whistleblower. They're not going to pay anonymous.
Some people don't want to be anonymous. Some people want to be known. Some people want to be known. And some people stay. There are people that EFCC paid, or is it the government that paid them their 5%? Until today, we don't know who they are.
There are cases like that.
We don't know who they are. And Nigeria has ears, but unfortunately that day the ear failed. Do you know them?
No.
Because I don't know them.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to protect the interests of the ministry. The minister is not the ministry. The minister is an appointee. He will leave.
Yes.
She will leave. The PAMSEC will leave. The Megad will leave. The secretary will everybody will leave. The ministry will still be there. There's always somebody willing to come and fill up spaces.
Yeah.
If you blow the whistle on the minister, I bet you a week will not pass, another minister will be appointed.
Yeah.
Life goes on. We have to learn to speak
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Right
Don't
thing.
be scared. Oh, I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah.
Do you know that maybe that job, God is telling you you don't need it anymore because there's a bigger one coming? But you keep holding on to that one job that is paying you.
Well, on those very reflective words from Z, we've come to the end of the conversations for today. We've been talking about work ethics. How does that affect you? Or do you have any comments concerning anything we've said today? We'd love to hear from you. Our social media handles are available on the screen. Please get in touch with us and our producers. So I'm Nike saying thank you for joining us. I'll leave everyone to say goodbye as well.
Goodbye, everyone. I'm Dr. Bello Ismail.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, and join us again soon.